Melissa from Everything's Not Okay and That's Okay. And today's vlog is sponsored by Lexington Law. So today we're going to go over 3 questions to ask yourself about your financial future and actually how to achieve them. Years ago, I would get really frustrated when people would ask me, where do you see yourself in 5 years or 10 years? It was just frustrating because I really didn't know. I especially didn't know what I wanted to do for a career or where I wanted to live or anything like that. And I didn't want to commit to anything. But I knew I wanted to be financially stable, and that's it. I didn't make a plan to get there. I didn't challenge myself in any type of way to make this plan. It was just this idea that I was going to be financially stable. So I took a step back and then I started asking myself 3 very specific questions, which I hope help you. The first is, what lifestyle do I want to live in 5 years from now? And really take that step back and think. For me, I wanted to be able to do some long weekend travel or buy a small item like a pair of shoes without thinking that I wouldn't be able to pay my bills, that I would be financially stable enough where I could buy small things or I could take these long weekends without us going into debt or taking out loans or anything like that. So from there, I knew that I needed to have a position or a career that aligned with that financial reasoning. 2. Name 3 ideas that give you the acknowledgement that you've achieved financial success. And these are measurable things. So when you think about your life 5 years, 10 years down the road, what does that financial success actually look like? For me, it was pay off my student loans, be able to make enough money where I'd actually have a down payment on a house, which could be 20%, and save towards my kids' college because that was important to me. So I was able to define kind of 3 things, and I wanted to have a certain amount of money in the bank for their college and a certain amount of money based on the house we were looking for. So really identify 3 things that mean financial success for you that are quantifiable. The third is, if you want to retire, what age do you want to retire at? And sometimes I'm thinking, oh my goodness, this is so many years from now. But if we ever want to stop working, we need to have a plan, and we need to know if we want to retire at 65 and we want to have this lifestyle, how much money do we need to have in the bank? So that's key, and that's really important. So now you have all of these things established. You know what type of lifestyle you want, you know your quantifiable goals, you know what age you want to retire. Now we actually have to do something about it, which can be tricky, but that's really important. The first is, how much money do you make and do you spend in a year? And when I did this exercise, I used Excel because it was much easier for me that way. I would also categorize my spending. So look at any side hustles you have or projects. What are your expenses? It could be what you're buying at Starbucks or a coffee shop or anything that you're doing, or shoes or travel. Really have a category of your expenses and your income and total all of your income. It really does help if you categorize it, or you can even do by location. Sometimes your credit card even does that for you, and it buckets it in different types of expenses. So know exactly how much you're bringing in and what's going out. If you use cash, see how much money you take out all the time so you know how much money you have and where you spent it. So try to be as specific as possible of how much money in and how much money out and where that money out is actually going. The second is, are you spending more than you actually have? And are there any expenses that you can cut? So if you've actually taken out a loan to pay for certain things, make sure you know that. I know I love kind of my fancy coffees and drinks, and I love, love, love shoes, but really thinking about, am I spending all these things and I don't really have the money to do it? Is there anything that you can cut? Is there anything that you can lessen? If you want to cut cable bills, that type of thing. Really look at the expenses that you have. Are you living in an apartment that you maybe can't afford rent? So be really truthful with yourself, because you're going to have to figure out how to move out of that situation so you're not spending more money than you're actually bringing in, if that lifestyle is really important to you. The third, what other expenses are you not thinking about? A 401k is huge. With my company and organization, the moment I got there, I was able to enroll within that program, and they actually matched. So it was free money that I was getting towards my retirement. So think about the additional expenses that you might not have. Do you have the insurance you're looking for? Do you have short-term disability? Look at all the expenses that your company offers and make sure you're set up for those matching programs so you're getting that free money. The fourth is, get your credit report. Lexington Law is great with this. They'll be able to provide you with the information. You can look through and see if there's any errors. You really want to make sure everything is correct on your credit report, and that's really key. The fifth is your credit score. A lot of credit card companies or banks will be able to provide you with your credit score. And that score is really essential, especially if you're thinking about big purchases like homes or cars. The lower score you have, potentially the higher interest rate. So you're losing a ton of money in that space. So again, make sure you have your credit report so you can see where your credits are, what accounts you have open, what credit cards you have, what loans, all that stuff. And then look at your credit score. The sixth, look at that credit report and make sure again that there are no errors. With Lexington Law, they'll actually speak with you. They have so many advisors that can work with you to remove any of the errors that you have. If there's any fraudulent work on there in terms of people opening credit cards under your name, because that all impacts your credit score. So you really want a partner in that, and Lexington Law is here to help. If you have any questions or want more information, just let us know and we'll be happy to help. And I'll put Lexington Law's information below. And they have some great credit education on their website as well, where you can scroll through that and find out any information that you need. And then you also get a free consultation. So it's a great way to start to build up your credit and find out what you need to do to set yourself up financially for the future so you can have the lifestyle that you're looking for. Thanks again.